I want to tell you a neat little story about something that happened to me. And if I remember, I'll put this up on the Coffee House Stories channel also. Back in 2008, lived in a little community called Exton, Pennsylvania. And the house that I lived in, it came home from work one day. This is when I was still able to work, and saw a little bit of water coming up out of the floor in the kitchen. I'm like, ooh, this can't be good. So I called a plumber. Plumber came out, and he had to turn the water off to work on it. And when he went to do that, there is one thing that we had in our front yard. This little thing that was down in the ground that said water. And he apparently thought that was where the valve was to shut off all the water to the house so he could work on it. So he goes out with his tools and he shuts the valve off. Comes back in the house, the water is still running. The leak is still existing. The water is still running. The poor guy can't figure out why the water would still be running after he shut off the valve. And this is in the yard, okay, leading up to the house. So it should have shut off everything. Well, here what had happened was the valve that is in my yard was actually somewhere else. And it led to a main valve, which was also in my yard. That's the one that he shut off. So about 8 of my neighbors couldn't do their wash, couldn't flush their toilets, couldn't use tap water to cook with, couldn't do anything. They had no water. We had to call the water company, and they figured out where the shutoff valve was for my house and determined that the plumber shut off the water for about 8 houses in the neighborhood. And I come back to think about that, and it's actually a little bit on the funny side because can you imagine coming home from work? You want to take a shower. You can't. No water. And no warning that it'll go off either. And because, the water company always gives a warning when they shut the water off. This was an independent plumber. I'll never forget that. And neighbors couldn't get mad at me. I just called a plumber. I just called a plumber to fix my leak. They were a little upset with the plumber, though. Thank you for allowing me to bore you. Have a great day. Bye.